What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are we doing today? We've got a gloomy day today, not too much sunshine, but hey, it is what it is. A little bit colder, but it's okay. First day of spring is behind us, and we know that rain, sunshine, all that nice weather is just on the horizon. Today, I just want to talk to you guys about things I wish I would have known in college. First off, I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known early on about not doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Adjusting my behaviors based on outcomes that transpired. Freshman, sophomore year, I went to a junior college, so I lived at home. I wasn't in a dorm. I didn't have roommates. I lived at the crib. And during those 2 years, one of my friends lived at a university. They had more parties at bigger universities compared to community colleges. So I spent a large majority of my time, freshman and sophomore year, going to parties that weren't fun. On a scale of like 1 to 10, they were on average about like a 6 out of a 10. So like I'd say every 5 parties that I went to, it was the same location. It wasn't like we went to different locations. It was the same location out of all, say I go 5 times, I would say like twice out of the 5 times I say I would have a good time. The other 3 times would just be like dummies. Dummies are essentially whenever you kind of go somewhere expecting to have fun and then just let you down. I did that a lot freshman and sophomore year. I think that alluded to me living at home. I didn't spend that much time at a university where I was meeting tons of people. It was a small campus. I wasn't really having that, big university campus type deal. So yeah, I wish I just would have stopped going to those parties freshman, sophomore year, and didn't really have that regret of, dang, I wish I would have gone, or I should say not having FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of like, man, I wonder if this is the time that it's actually fun. I think that it would have been nice to, make those adjustments and have that growth early on in my college career. But, like I said, I was living at home. I was young. I was naive. It took a little bit of time, but it is what it is. The next thing I wish I would have known in college is a lot of those relationships that you have in college, especially with me being like two and a half years post college, graduated. There's not more than like 5 people from college that I still talk to, that I still, have a relationship with, that I will call like my friend. And those 5 people, I went to high school with. So those are an anomaly. In college, I spent a majority of my time maybe doing things to try to fit in, or doing things because everybody else was doing it. And I think that if I would have spent more time, figuring out what type of career I wanted to pursue, or, the creative aspect in my brain, doing things like, I don't know, making videos or trying new hobbies instead of, associating myself maybe with the same group of people or same crowd. Because looking back on it in retrospect, none of those people are here today, or here now, or here checking in like, hey, how are you doing? Or miss you, hey, we should get together, or yada, yada, yada. Those people aren't here for me now in my life. So if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have necessarily put so much pressure on me doing certain activities with certain groups of people, because there was not really anything beneficial. Obviously, you got to live in the moment, be present in the moment, and you want to create these memories that you can look back upon and say that, you had a lot of fun, or this was a great time at college. I remember this party, or I remember this class experience, or I remember this, whatever. It's important to kind of be in the moment, just reflecting on those moments. Maybe I could have slightly did things a little differently. The next thing I want to talk about is in regards to college, understanding that this is not the end of the world. The tests that you take are important, and the knowledge that you obtain is important as well, but not beat myself up over it, not succeeding as much as I wanted to or this and that. Because in the real world, your GPA, as long as, you're not like below a 3.0 or whatever, most jobs aren't even necessarily looking at your GPA. They want to just know if you're able to do the job at hand, if you're able to be consistent, if you're able to show up on time. Things that in college you do learn. You got to go to class, or if you play a sport, you got to go to workouts, you got to go to training. There is some accountability and responsibility that you have in college, but mainly more so on the academic aspect of college. They don't really care as much. And it's really important about building relationships with, professors and trying to put yourself in internships throughout your college to get real world experience, because the real world experience is going to trump, I would say, your GPA. Like I said, as long as you're not like a 2.5 or you're not just throwing up bricks like D's and C's, or D's and F's, or what I should say. But, that's what is going to get you to where you want to go in your life. I wish I would have known also that these will be some of the, how should I put this? This is the only time that you'll be this young again. You're only, your 20s or your, later teens is only a small portion of your life. If you go from 18 to like 23 or like 16 to 23, it's only 7 years. And after that, after post college, you're just an adult for the next 40 years, 30, 40 years, however long you have the blessing to live until. You're only this young for this small percentage of your life. So I think that it's important to have gratitude and realize the moments that you have in your life. When you're that young, how it feels to be that young, the energy, the adrenaline, all of the stuff that you experience while you're young, and just not necessarily take it for granted. Just because, when you're in college, you can stay up to 2 a.m. just watching movies with your friends, or watching a TV show, or watching sports, just staying up late, and then getting up, got to go to class at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. is super duper tired, but not even necessarily feel those effects to the detriment of how it would be if you were 40 years old or 50 years old doing those same activities. Your body wouldn't be able to bounce back as quickly, at an older age. Obviously, you wouldn't want to stay up that late and do all those things consistently. But just realize, how energetic and youthful you are. I think that I wish I would have. I wish I would have known it a little bit better. I wouldn't say I did it badly or poorly, but I wish I would have known, how great it is to be that young. I'm still young now. Don't get me wrong. I'm only 24 years old, so. I'm not even 25 yet. I'm not even, old. I haven't even cracked 30. So I'm still relatively young, but now I'm an adult. Now I have more responsibilities that I have now compared to I did when I was in college. Yeah. I mean, for those of you that, are in college, live up to the best ability. You don't be afraid to put yourself in situations to be out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and meet new people and associate yourself with people that you wouldn't necessarily have done so without kind of, taking that leap of faith. This life is very beautiful, and don't want you to take it for granted. Also, this is a big part I wish I would have known in college. I wish I would have known or understood money, learning how money works, learning how the system works. I would have done things differently, especially during COVID when they were just printing all this money. I wish I would have understood how the system works and how money and exchange and all that kind of sorts of things operate in this country. I wish I would have understood that then, because I would be in a totally much different position now. I wasn't a crazy drinker in college, or I wasn't a crazy partier in college or anything like that, but I would have spent my money and put my money in places differently if I knew then what I know now. So I appreciate you guys taking the time listening to me chat. This has been Jamal on the Mall Take Show. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, peace.